I've been using YouTube for my whole life, quite literally, and I've seen this platform go through a lot. I was never a creator, but a viewer, and now I kind of feel the need to do this video because the more time I spend here, the more I realize it's just not as cool anymore, you know? I mean, now video recommendations are all the same, screaming for attention, clickbait titles, exaggerated thumbnails, and tons of AI generated content. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not against AI, and I know the internet changes. I think AI is pretty useful, you know, I use it myself. But I think the way that both creators and viewers are using this platform has made it worse, and it doesn't really seem to be turning around soon. Let me explain myself. I actually did a whole script recapping YouTube's history and stuff, but you know what? If you're watching this, you probably already know most of it, and it isn't really the point of this video to explain it, but instead I would like you to remember the times when YouTube felt more like a community, when the content was, even though still made to get your attention and views, because, well, let's be realistic, there have been strategies for playing with the algorithm since a long time ago. It was made for real, you know? Now, a lot of the content out there is meaningless, whether it is AI generated or not. There are tons of content nowadays that feel this way. And here's a key difference, because you might think, yeah, it's always been like that. Fun facts or just funny videos are not necessarily very meaningful. And yeah, well, that's true, but it's not that. There are videos out there that are funny, made with the purpose of entertaining and just that, but they're well edited and you can feel that someone made that consciously, you know? Now you see, there are videos that are just completely soulless, monotone voices, very low effort editing, and even though that's not really bad in itself, I know this video does not really have a higher quality editing, you just watch these videos and end up like, oh, okay. You might think this content I'm talking about is entirely AI generated, and probably yes, but I don't know, it's hard to know now, you see. But it's about the feeling. You just don't feel anything watching this, and it's just that. Now, talking about AI content more specifically, I think there are levels to this. I've seen creators using AI in nice ways, and I get why it can be great. It can help you plan a video, a topic, brainstorm ideas, you know. It can help optimizing your content so it takes less time and effort to create, and that's great. But then you have completely AI generated crap. I'm sorry. I was looking for an interesting enough video to watch the other day, and I find this AI generated thumbnail and a video about Pedro Pascal raging and Marble firing him, and I first think, wow, that looks fake as hell from the thumbnail and the title and everything. But out of curiosity, you know, and because it actually had many views, I click on it, and yeah, it is totally AI generated, from the clips to the voice to the editing to the description. I mean, yeah, and that's not really the problem, let me tell you. There are two major problems actually that I figure about this. First, this type of content gets not only to us who have been on the internet for a long time and could differentiate this from real news, but it gets to people who do not really have this knowledge and might get tricked easily. You cannot really blame them, you know, a 50, 60-year-old man who has not really been into the internet for long and just logs in into YouTube, and one of the first things that he watches is an AI generated video, and he was going to think, wow, whoa, what is this, you know, how can he tell? Anyway, that in itself is a problem, yeah, and as the more the AI advances, the harder it will get to differentiate this. One day even us, who really don't worry this much about it right now, could be believing something completely made up, and that to me is really scary. This type of videos are being mass produced about different topics every day at every hour. I was searching and bro, there are literally tons of this, especially pop culture videos, but like almost anything you can find. What happens with this is it makes it harder for creators, newer creators especially, to stand out in an already complicated algorithm, as most of these videos are literally made to get your attention regardless of their actual content. So, content that could actually be meaningful gets buried deeper down. Another point now, YouTube policies are getting worse and suspiciously restrictive. You probably heard about YouTube asking now for your ID in order to verify that you're an adult, which, doesn't really sound that bad, but it has major privacy concerns, especially knowing that Google is manipulating our data. And this is just part of the restrictions and policy updates that the platform has been put in since long ago. If you actually want to go deeper into this, go check Louis Roseman's channel. He's been talking about this and other ways that companies are trying to take freedom and ownership away from us. I'll leave the link for his channel in the description. If you're interested, I highly recommend it. But yeah, the point is, YouTube is not what it used to be, and this is happening in many other platforms as well. Change might be unavoidable, but it doesn't mean we should let things change for the worse. I've been part of this community for long, and I can tell you, it is sad to know that each time I trust less in a video title or thumbnail, that each time it takes longer to find something that's actually worth watching, that a company that already has a lot of power and influence over people wants to take even more from us. I think we can do something about this if we stand as a community to raise our voice about what we don't agree with. Yeah, there's still a lot of content that's still worth watching, a lot of interesting stuff out there. I know this video could feel very pessimistic, but honestly, I just wanted to point out these problems, see if we can do something. I don't really know if someone else actually going to watch this video, but if you happen to be interested and agree with it, please comment and subscribe. Maybe we can get this to stand out on the algorithm, and I promise if we manage to get some attention, I'll keep up with this so we can actually do something about it. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and goodbye.